Hey guys, so this time I thought we would cover some sort of making some weapons, different weapon types to fire different kinds of projectiles and make the combat a little more different. Um, and from a code standpoint, this should be pretty straightforward, and hopefully it shouldn't be too hard to just get up and running straight from the get-go. So currently all we're doing when we're shooting people is if I go to my AI, I believe it's actually at the bottom, but all we're doing is we're getting a fire rotation, a gun location, and then spawning the projectile and firing it. So with that in mind, what we need to do is separate this code from the AI and move it into the character, or at the very least make most of this done from the weapons perspective. So for this to work at all, and given how I think this game's going to go, I'm going to make it we're going to firstly make a new C++ class. Now, I'm torn here because realistically I could use an actor to be the weapons, and then they could actually have like a more physical presence and stuff. But it's not really worth going to that extent with them, because we can always create a U class that has a static mesh component and a static associated static mesh, and then just attach them to the root component when they're selected. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to think if there's a reason to do it any other way. But I think that seems most reasonable because then we don't necessarily have to spawn the weapons in the world. We can just create them, and then the component can be blank until it's actually equipped to a character. So that's what we're going to do for now. So we select the base class of object, and then we go weapon. Okay, and I think, yep, yeah, cool, we're all here. So I'm going to stop this because I don't think we need to add any more classes at the moment. We will, of course, make the weapons have different projectiles that they fire, but that will come later. So we'll do all the private stuff first. So a weapon's going to have several things. So we want a fire rate. Range isn't really a concept in this game, but in other games you might want a range modifier or something. We'll have damage, of course. And I think that's all we really need, because we're going to spawn a projectile, pass in the damage, and then the projectile flies off and does its thing. This tells the projectile how much damage it does, and this is how often this weapon can shoot. I'll probably need, okay, let's do, I'm just gotta remember how to do this. Yeah, we'll get an enumeration. Throw one of these up here, and we're going to have, there we go. This is going to be weapon type. So we're going to want, let's just do laser, rockets, I think that's going to be a subtype, if I'm right. There was something else. Mine. Because that would be quite fun, where you primarily don't have a weapon that actually shoots people, but you just go and lay mines around the map, cordoning off areas. As it is primarily meant to be an objective-based game, it'd be very interesting to make the bots capable of using mines effectively. That might need some very specific logic. Let's think. I did actually have a list. Let me just pull that up. Did I not put it in here? I could have sworn I probably put them in here. Ah, yes, railgun, shotgun. It's yeah, more like a sniper rifle. Okay, that would do for now. Keep it easy. And then this is going to be weapon type. Excellent. So this doesn't have anything at all. So we're going to create the constructor. If my mouse will stop flickering, there we go. We want fire rate. Damage. We're just gonna create some really basic numbers here. Weapon type by default is going to be the laser. That would do. Keep it nice and simple. And then we can actually take this, and we'll need to tweak this, of course, because it's not going to work quite like that. So we're going to need some properties. Because the weapon's going to be the thing which is actually doing the firing. The AI is just going to tell it when to fire. So I am wondering whether or not the timer should be inside the AI or the weapon. It would make sense to keep it inside the AI, and weapons can just be spam fired. Possibly. Actually, no. Let's move it out. I'm gonna leave the code in here as well anyway until we've got the equivalent set up. So we're gonna want the sound effect, of course. Then we're gonna want the timer. Was there anything else? Where's the methods? Shot timer expired. And then we just create this. And this is going to be interesting. Why isn't it highlighting those? Okay, I'll come back to that one. Let's see. So we want to import the drone projectile. This, I don't know why we even have that. The world should always be something. Okay, so we need a few things. This also, weapon should probably have an owner. There we go. And then so we need access to the world, which would be owner.getWorld. So if I do interesting, why has it done that? forward declaration, and then not sure why that's not working. Let me just do this. That should be right, in theory. Okay, and then we also need to set up the projectile in the same way that these do. So if we go up to the top, because then we can remove this, all that kind of code from here as well. It will make it a bit less cluttered. So we've got projectile class. Like I said, but we'll leave it in there until this compiles properly, because there's no point. Otherwise, it will get a little tricky to bug fix and stuff. Copy of that. Put there for now. Let's do the forward declaration consistently. Okay, so we got this concept for weapons, got fire rate, it's got damage, owner class, projectile. And then inside here it's got canned fire, which we're gonna do as simple as that. It's gonna be want to default this to true. Okay. So we know what all this is doing. I mean, I'll tidy this up later. I'll get rid of that. Okay, now we can do this. Right, so we filtered this down a bit. We need to do, this is going to be owner, yeah. That's so weird. Is it not? How are we getting the location in other cases? That must be what it is. Let's just get actual location. I don't know why the IntelliSense is being so weird. It should be as straightforward as that. Fire direction. So we've got the owner, we've got a world. This is going to be can fire equals true. Fire equals false. I'm going to not do this possibly because it shouldn't ever be null. We wouldn't be firing something if it was not if it was null. And this is okay. We just need that. Although the set timer might be, yeah, we can't do that method because we don't have it. It's gonna look a little weird, but I can do this. If I wanted. Oh right, wrong class. Yeah, perhaps not. Let's go back to this. And I suppose I could create one which takes in the world. But for now, we'll just put it in properly. Where are we looking? We want this in there, I think. Ah. Wait, is that right? Was it actually a dot? Oh, it's actually a dot. Okay, my bad. Okay, let's build this and see how badly it goes. Oh, in fact, hang on, we can't do that because this hasn't been implemented at all. There shouldn't be too much. Perhaps I think I've missed gun offset, for instance. Yeah, I'll need that. I'll stop this building because I know that's not going to happen. And the gun offset is this. So we just shove this in at the top here. Now we build again. This needs one less potential problem. Oh, sorry, I just realized. Cool, what have I missed? Let's do all the easy bits. Add some includes. I don't know why that's coming up. Yeah, I get that. It's going to do anything, but let's try this. Because that's probably screwing up a lot of them. Oh, can fire. There we go, this should compile now. Oh, wait, what? Suffix? Oh, right, hang on. Got the .0f on that. Fire rate undeclared. I think it's just that. It is just that. Cool. Pardon me. Okay, wonderful. Right, so we need to do a few things. So the most important thing is we need a way of creating these. I think it's this. So we want to take these properties where's it now? And then we want to do this. This will mean we can create them from an external context. So we can create them in the character class, for instance. So as an example, go to here. So this is going to need, not in public, in private, a new weapon. And then we stored declaration, and then we come into here, and the set defaults, it's going to be weapon equals U. Okay, well, it'll be this. Let me, come on. I don't know why it changes that. Okay, fine. Let's think. It's gonna be the same as its default, so it will literally just be its fire rate. Fire rate damage owner. 0.3, yeah. 0.0 F. That's okay, and then inside the weapon class, come into here and we go new weapon. Here we go, new objects. Like that, and then we return weapon. Let me do weapon dot fire rate equals in fire rate dot damage in. Excellent. So those are the key properties. Eventually we might change the projectile class or something. That will do for now, for that key concept there. And then in character, we want to encapsulate this, which is going to be get weapon, set weapon. And now, in theory, in the AI, the fire shot code we can get rid of, and it should be get drone dot get weapon dot fire shot. Right, assuming this all probably compiles, it should just do the trick. I'm just going to encapsulate. Oh, that's set. That's get. We don't want to change anything inside there. We're going to do the same with the type, because we will probably want to have public access of that. This should be public. Fire sound, weapon type, object class owner. Okay, excellent. So let's see if this works. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, pardon me. And then the idea will be, once this basic code's sorted. Oh yeah, I never got to importing that. Hang on. No, come on. That's interesting. Alright, let's try that one again. And then later on we can create subclasses of it all. How does it manage this? Come on, you can do it. Find use of weapon. Same in here. Grief, right? Right, come on. And then if this works and the AI fly around and shoot each other still, then I can delete all of the code that we've just done in weapon from the context of this, which will shorten this down a lot more. And then we have the concept of weapons that can have like different damage and stuff. Then we need to make the projectile hold its damage so we can then do different quantities to the player based on that, and then we can start creating different projectile classes that have like different particle effects, and I want the ability to like charge a weapon rather than just shoot it like a normal gun. Should be a lot of fun. This is interesting. Is it going to do anything? Who knows? What is it doing? Huh. Ah. Yeah, don't worry. We're not supposed to do that, I think. Oh, you do supers up here anyway. Ah, my bad. I think it's fine. Let's let the nerve rebuild. Alright, let's hit play and see if they shoot each other. Nope. Let's see. The owner hasn't been set correctly. Did I not? I did. Okay. It's possible we need to U property the crap out of this. Anything that's potential getting deleted, because that's not fun. Come on. It seems unlikely to me that it would be null ever, given that we're just straight up passing it into it. Where are we doing that? Wait, what? Oh, I did it in the defaults. That's fine. Oh, okay, fine. This was a null pointer. How is that possible? So we've gone from what on earth? Does new objects not work anymore? Oh, I know. I've missed something entirely here. Yeah, I think you need to pass that in. It's been a while since I've done this, or even had to do this. Right, let's try again. We'll get there. Once this just works, it will literally be a case of stripping out the old code in the AI and the controller, which will remove a lot of excess code. That was someone at the door. Alright, sorry about that. I do also need to get rid of my music thing in here. Okay, let's try again. For God's sake. Okay, like what? Did I encapsulate weapon? I did. Get weapon, return weapon. Weapon's a pointer. Okay. Cancel. Right. Let's begin play. Right. Okay, so we're setting the weapon. Blah. Let's see if that works at all. I mean, it would have complained if we'd got this far and it hadn't have worked. Just gonna check my old code for how I do this, but this is pretty much it. What am I looking for? Let's make RPG. Just gonna go into here, do this. New object, that is static class, set properties, return it, and it's a static, returns that does that. Yeah, I've not done anything differently. New weapon as fire rate, is that can fire is true, gun offset set. It's found the projectile class, it's a type of laser. Yeah, it's all there. Cool, look at that. It's all working. I think the gameplay was the quite cool. FPS isn't too bad. Right, I'm gonna delete this and close this properly. Okay, now we can do the nice efficient thing and delete everything to do with that inside of it. So, I'll do this. Go up to the top. So we don't need can fire, fire rate or gun offset. We don't need projectile class anymore. We go into here, there's nothing in begin play. I don't believe there's anything anywhere else. And then we go into the header, and we take these, that, that. Can fire. And I think that's it, because we still do the fire shot thing, but we just don't do anything else. And that seems to be it. Wonderful. Then we can, in theory, if I build this, just close all of this. If this builds, I'll go and do the same with the other controller. Excellent. And we've removed quite a reasonable amount of code. So I can pretty much copy this. This behaves a little differently. Delete that. And do we have a helper function for... Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got exactly the same. Wonderful. So we can get rid of that. The projectile class. Then we can go into the controller. Then we don't need those. That. This. That. We're good. So now we'll try it with the player as well, just to make sure. I don't see any reason why it won't work. I've probably just forgotten something again. Oh yeah, I need to steal it from this. There we go. Pretty straightforward, really. Right. So they're still shooting each other. And then if I play in selected viewport, yep, I can shoot as well. Very, very poorly, of course. I'm very close to death. Yeah, next thing, at least in terms of playability, is going to be making it so you can determine, you know, friend from foe. I've heard they often need that in games. Oh god, their random movements. Very awkward to deal with. Hey, right, so it works, We're good, we're good. Okay, so now we can do some useful things. So we don't need to make any modifications to these anymore. So we go into the projectile class, and in protected, I guess, float damage, and then we encapsulate this. With a getter and setter. And then in here, is this right? No, in the weapon. Is it not? Oh, it's not put them in. Okay, so I don't know why it's doing that. Let me find it. Some reason it doesn't pull the code in here. They do exist, it's just not in the project set file. And then we can do projectile.set set damage. Okay, simple as that. And now the projectile is doing the damage that we want it to do. So in the player character, we go into here, we go receive hits, and damage is simply just needs to be get damage. And now we can do some more fun things. Like for instance, making the weapons damage completely random each time, within reason. Just to prove that that all works, so I'm sure it'll be fine, but is it laptop? Where will we be doing this? I believe it's inside here. Looking for a random fmath random in range. Excellent. So this will give us a random number. So if I do in here, and it's going to be between 10 and 20. Hopefully this works. And then we can see that's probably not the best idea. Where are we looking? Weapon damage coming in here. There we go. And now when we hit begin play, we can just loop through and just see if the damage is coming out randomly. This will add a bit more variation to combat. Obviously, it will probably not be something I'd do in a multiplayer setting, given that you want your damage to be fairly consistent. But you've got an 18, a 19, an 11, 13, yeah. So they all kill each other at slightly different rates now. So it may not be as balanced as it was before. And maybe I'll put in, like, let's say I wanted to make damage slightly random. Like, just inherently random. So let's say this starts at 15 again. Seems to be a reasonable amount. They have, what, 200 health? Sorry, 200 health and shield combined, or is it 300? It's 300. So you need to be hit. Wow, is that 20 times? Yeah. No. Yes, 20 times before you actually die. Which is quite a lot in a game of this nature, in fact. Let's make the combat perhaps a bit faster paced and put it to 30. But in the weapon, when we're setting the damage, so what we could do here is damage times 0.8, and then damage times 1.2. and this will give us a range between 20% less of the maximum, 20% less of the max the damage, or 20% more. So it could go down to 24 or up to 36. So just a bit. I could put it a bit differently than that, but could not be. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. The damage should be a float, yes. Float. See if that does it. It doesn't like the conversion because it can't. There's an integer random range and a float random range. And I was giving it I was technically giving it floats, but it couldn't determine specifically between the two variants. So, oh geez, my God, the massacre. Oh, they be hurting. They do be hurting. My shields dropped almost immediately. So just as an example, this particular projectile has 25.9-ish damage. So there you go. And if I eject and fly around a bit, their little combat scraps should be a lot quicker. Should I think what I want for the end, because this is meant to be more of an arcade pew pew lasery kind of game more than a sort of dodging and trying to, like, evade each other and stuff all the time. You go around the corner and somebody just uses the shotgun weapon and taps you or something. But then later on you've got like the charged burst laser, and you charge it up, fire it vaguely at the direction of the enemy, and they like die immediately, sort of thing. Wow, we are decimating them, it seems. How did that happen? Is it the spawn point over there? Here we are, actual spawn camp. But is this right? Like, what team's this guy on? Team 1. He should be capturing that, no? Oh, right, no, that is team... and let's figure this out. Have I got too many... Team 1... Team 1... Team 1... Okay, I guess the increased damage has led to a favourable fight for this team. But that's a team 2. What is going on here? Why aren't they... Oh, it's too close. The spawn point's too close, I think. Possibly. I actually have no idea what was happening there. But yeah, let's move the spawn point regardless, because that's actual insanity right there. You shouldn't realistically be able to spawn next to the objective like that. Oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to select that. Okay, let's just see what else, because mob mentality is going to be the thing here. So they've claimed that one. Hmm. They're fighting over this. These are the green team. Yeah, okay, so they are... It is working. I guess we just got into a spawn killing situation. Which isn't ideal. But that's level design thing. I mean, if I was really thinking about it, what I would do is probably manually place asteroids around the spawn points where they're spawning up here. I don't know if that's me, but whatever. Anyway, right, so the weapons now do random amounts of damage, and we have different, well, we've separated the code out for the weapons now, so we can make them behave differently. I'm trying to think if I could do any of that now without problem. Probably not. Let's make this a bit more lenient, shall we? That 5% potential difference. Not much, but enough that it could possibly change the outcome of the fight. So yeah, we can kind of condense this down a bit more now. I feel like this probably ought to have something like that. We just take this, because that's never going to change, because the projectile class could change, but it's not going to change how we spawn. And then I'm also going to do one for the timer. I know we've already got a normal set timer thing, but it's not going to work with this, is it? I'm not sure whether macros have the concept of polymorphism. Let's find out. So if I do this, oh, not that, this, and I do world, and then we import this into weapon. Get rid of that. And then we do this version of it. And then we check that that's correct. Handle this method, yep. Go back into the weapon. We comment that out. And we rebuild that and see if it handles polymorphism. I assume it will, because it's not very complicated. No, okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, I'm fixing it now. Oh yeah. Back in here, do that, get rid of that. Okay, now we tidied the code up a bit as well. Fantastic, right. Oh, that's the weapon class sorted, same as before, but now we have ability to specify different properties in it. I need that. Wonderful. Now we can stop it as well. Okay, and yeah, now we've got a bit less clutter in the drone AI, which is getting a little convoluted to say the least. I feel like I could put these in the header, but probably not the best idea. To be fair, a lot of this code is the comments, so yeah. Okay, I think that's all I was going to do at the moment, and then later on we can give this a static mesh component, and then we can start making weapons and assigning the weapons to physically attach to the characters. So when this code gets created here, we'll do a sort of a... I mean, I could set up the properties and things for it. So for instance, we'll need one of these. So we'll need our very own static mesh component, and this is going to be mesh. And I don't know why that's there. And then we want a static mesh. Weapon mesh. I think that's right. Because this just immediately finds the static mesh and assigns it to the object. Yeah, so I suppose it's relevant. Yeah, it's probably relevant. And then we do the same premise in the projectile in here, doing the whole constructor, get the assets, create a new default, and then set the mesh, set attachment. Then we'll start setting like the relative offset and all that kind of stuff to the character, and then hopefully after 20 minutes of faffing around with numbers, it should be in the right place. doesn't always work very well. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. I'll obviously have to actually go and, create the weapons. But that shouldn't take very long. I need to make the sound effects as well. I might just use my orchestral stuff. Just make it sound like a violin or whatever, just playing a note. Might be fun. Anyway, I will carry this on later. See you guys around.